Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us here on SPTV. My name is Rachel Galbreath, or AKA Rachel G. Palmistry. And we have been trying to go live for 5-6 minutes now. You know, technology and all that, right? But if you are unfamiliar with what I do, I am a palm reader. I'm a card reader. I'm a little bit of this. I'm a little bit of that. But what I do here on SPTV is I provide mini palm readings. And why do I say mini? Because I have a certain person in my ear saying, Rachel. Because I can go on and on and on when I do a palm reading. It's kind of like going down a rabbit hole, right? So traditionally, a normal reading is anywhere for one hand is about a half hour to 40 minutes. We don't have time for that. So what I need you to do is, yes, it is possible to read palms this way, as you are going to take your cell phone and take a photo of the hand that you write with, meaning your dominant hand. So if you were to take a pen or whatever, and whatever hand you sign your name with, that is your dominant hand. With your cell phone, for me, obviously, that's my right hand. You're going to be taking a photo from the wrist, including all the tips of every finger, okay? Make it nice, make it clear as possible. And if it bounces back, you're going to send it to the email that is on the screen, okay? And if it bounces back to you, that just means that the email account has been flooded. Please do not resend the image, because once photos are taken out of the account, and it will just automatically come right into the account and we can use it, okay? I'm going to try to do as many as possible today. I'm going to ask you to please excuse me. I am using a throat lozenge today. So you're going to see me like blah, 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 right? Making noises or popping lozenges, all right? And I apologize for that. But it is a necessity for today. Now, all that being said, how I do my palm readings when it's this kind of mini reading situation is I will focus on the thing that pops out at me first, instead of doing like that deep dive and, going over everything. Only the things that pop out at me first, okay? And of course, if you have any questions about anything I say in these readings, if I do get a chance to read your poem, just reach out to me. Please, just reach out to me and I will answer those questions about what I had to say in the reading. Now, obviously, if you are seeking further information, that's a whole other ball of wax. And you can find me, make appointments, do whatever through SPTV's directory, or even through the many different social platforms I am on. Just look for Rachel G. Palmistry. You're going to find me, okay? I promise you, you're going to find me. Now, toward the end of the show, if we do have time and if my throat holds up, okay, we're going to do some really, really quick readings with cards. And when I say quick, I mean quick. Maybe like a minute per person. And today, I didn't choose a tarot deck. Instead, I chose an oracle deck. I know some of you may be saying, oh, I want a tarot because it's a new year. No, I went with what I was kind of pulled toward, and Richard can attest to that, okay? So, do we have any hellos, Richard? I'm not going to repeat what he said. Okay, hello, Millie. Good to see you. Hi, Eddie. Eddie the Raven, good to see you again. Hi, Bernard. Terry, thank you for all your good work. Hello, Haswell, good to see you again. Hey, Danielle. Miss Joanne. Hey, Samantha. Welcome. Samara, good to have you. And hello, Kelly. And oh, Marcus, much love to you, my friend Marcus. I have to quickly say, I'm going to pause here for a moment, Richard, is that I personally cannot see the comments that you make in Facebook or on YouTube. Okay, just so that you know that I cannot see that. Sometimes I will go back through afterward, and I will read it, and I might answer your question here or there sometimes. But while I'm doing a live, I cannot see any of that because I'm doing readings, okay? So just if you have a question for me, you might want to send it to me directly, okay? Like Rachel G. Palmistry, like I said, just look me up wherever you can, TikTok, Facebook, whatever, okay? So that being said, hello, Valerie, and you even got a little flower there. Looking forward to spring. Hey, Amanda. And Happy New Year. Hi, Allison. Hey, Kelly. Sheila. Hi, Karen. Thanks for joining. Hey, Carrie. Moto Clown. Love it. Hi, Pamela. Australia. Ooh. Hi, Wendy. Carla, good to see you. Emails on the screen. Oh, you know, I butcher names. But I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to say Kimbo. I think you were just outed, Kimbo. All right. So, Millie, I said hi to Millie. Hey, Joanne, how are you? Hi, Carla. Again, the email is on the screen. Hi, Susan. Happy New Year. Hi, Joy. Mick, good to see you. Or kind of see you. Hi, Clayton. Should I relay that? Okay. Richard would like to say hi, Clayton. It's been a while. I hope everything's okay with you. Good to see you again. Hi, Farheen. Yes, I am. Let's do this. Let's bring it. Yes, I got an itchy nose, too. I'm sorry about that. It's like, I'm a little bit under the weather, everybody, but we're going to get through this. Carrie. Wow. All right. You're up. Be brave. Be brave, Carrie. All right, so show me that hand, Richard. All right. Woo, look at those lines. All right. So first off, I'm going to ask you some questions that might seem a little personal. But trust me, it's just part of the human condition. It really, truly is. That's why I always tell people to be brave when they get a palm reading from me. Now, first thing that pops out at me on your hand, Carrie, happens to come from this area, which is the Mount of Venus, which doesn't have to do with love. It has to do with social interaction. Now, these lines that go from the base of the thumb, the ring of the thumb, and go out this way toward the lifeline, okay? Now, those are negative interaction lines. Now, if you can see yours, they don't just stop at the lifeline, do they? They cut through the lifeline, go through the wisdom line, which is that second line through there, and then go all the way up to the relationship line. That being said, how are you managing anxiety? And I ask that because you have a very kind of volatile combination hand. The way that I read palms, there are 4 major elements, and there are so many different ways of reading palms, and there are so many elements that are used, like in Chinese palmistry. There's wood, there's metal, there's spirit, there's all these other elements, right? But I basically stick to 4. I stick to earth, air, water, and fire. You have an earth and water combination hand. Now, what happens to a garden or a plant if it's watered too much? Those plants will drown in all that water, right? They're a mess. It was kind of a rhetorical question, but thank you for your honesty, Terry. Thank you for Carrie, I should say. Now, the thing is that water, the element of your hand, right? Water is your palm, and that is what is closest to your heart. So you hold on to everything more than you will actually tell people. So in order to put that water, because water in palmistry and tarot and all this type of stuff is the same as emotion. Okay? Perfect. Yeah. Virgos don't have a tendency to speak up a lot. Now, the other thing is that with this water that you are taking on in your palm, quietly, because we don't really just show everybody our palm, right? What we interact with are our fingers. So you have some earthiness to your fingers. So people automatically perceive you and will walk up to you, and you will just provide. You will give them energy, you will give them time, you will help them out, etc., etc. But the interesting thing that you do have is that Jupiter, which is the index finger, okay, and Saturn are close together. And that being said, Apollo, which is this guy right here, and Mercury, they're kind of skewed away from each other even. So what you need to do to help you through this, through all of the anxiety, is to start believing in you more. And what do I mean by that? You have such a strong, straight Saturn finger, and Saturn was a Titan god. Saturn is the one that made sure everything got done, no matter what it was. He didn't care whose toes got crushed, whatever. If it had to be done, it was done. It was completed, right? Because that's what Saturn was about. And Jupiter, aka Zeus, was his son. Now, we all know Zeus, right? At least I'm hoping we all know the character of Zeus, right? So those 2 fingers together, right? How they are really, really close together. How people see you is based on the strength that you have in Saturn. And that's not a bad thing. People see you as very, very strong. So what you are going to have to do in order to alleviate some of this weight of the water that is sinking into your garden because this may be earthiness, but it's sinking down into the wateriness and adding to who you are, right? And it's drowning out the roots of every plant that you are trying to grow for other people and for yourself, right? You're going to have to start using these two fingers right here. And it's going to feel uncomfortable at first. But do you see how Apollo is bending toward Saturn, even though there is that little gap right here, right? That means that you need to start expressing how you feel about the things you have to do for everybody else. Now, based on your relationship line, and the fact that these negative interaction lines cut through every line that you have on your palm means that you are making, you're making decisions to try to make sure those things don't happen again, right? That cause that stress, that cause that angst, right? But when are you going to be you? I'm taking a pause there, and it's kind of a rhetorical pause. Exactly. No one thinks you're weak. They think that you are super strong because Saturn is such a straight finger on your hand. They don't think you're weak. They're attracted to the fact that you can get things done. That's what I'm saying. You need to actually start expressing how you feel about that to these people. And it's going to be completely out of your comfort zone. But people are dumping water into your boat, as I always say, for water hands. And your palm is water. And so you're just trying to manage. That's it. But people will come to you and they will dump their problems and their expectations on you. And you have to stop what you're doing and get the water out of your boat in order to keep moving forward. That's difficult for anybody. The fact that Mercury is kind of bending in toward your palm means that you will not speak up. You will hesitate to speak up and say, you weren't there at 2 o'clock, because it just adds more angst, and it adds fuel to the fire of the people who just keep pulling those nutrients from your fingers, those earthy fingers that you have, okay? So, what do? You have to start using Apollo. You have to start telling people how the truth of their actions are affecting you. Face to face, mano a mano. You have to do it. And those lines will change. They will change, and you will feel ease. You will feel a weight come off of you. I promise you that. Another thing is that your thumb is the Achilles heel here. Now, the shape of your thumb, the length of your thumb, the way it is placed, right, is because of something that happened in your past life, which would be seen on your other hand, your non-dominant hand, your left hand, okay? Let's see, what does she say? I have to focus on my Taurus also has a spiritual. Okay, but what do you do if you yourself run out of nutrients for yourself? You need to center and take care of you in order to be that anchor and that almost compass for him, right? And I am trying to tell you how to go about that. So you are going to have to start telling others how what they are doing makes you feel. And if you use the truth, which is Mercury, and you say you weren't there at 2 o'clock and I had to do this, etc., they're not going to be able to argue with it. And all that can be seen on your relationship line, which is this top line here. Okay? Do you see how deep I'm all over the place here with my pen, but it's this top line that goes straight across horizontally. Now, you have so many bridges, you have so many X's and islands and chaining on that your relationships are up and down. And that is because you need to speak your truth. And when you come to that realization, people are going to listen. You do not have a very strong presence line up through the middle of your hand, and that's okay. That's okay. It's because the type of elements that your hand is, whatever the proper terminology is there, it's earth and water, and that's a volatile mixture. It can either, you got to water a plant, don't you? But if you overwater it, then the plant passes away, and then you're left with mud, and you have to let it dry out, and you have to start over again. So there are boundaries. What in the world? What's Woo, that was loud. Okay. So boundaries are important for you. Find your boundaries and go out of your comfort zone and speak the truth of the situation to the people who just keep thinking that you can take it. Because you need to hit the pause button for you in order to regenerate yourself. Okay? Re-energize, whatever. I'm not well today, people. That's my excuse. I'm not well. I bet you have. I bet you've lived many other lifetimes too. I really do, Carrie. And thank you. Oh, but hey, I happen to have a very volatile hand myself, so I understand what you're talking about. All right, I have a different combination, but part of it is Earth, so I do understand what you're getting at. But yes, you have to be Superwoman for you. Think of it more like Wonder Woman, right? Amazonian. Be Amazonian. There you go. Yeah. But if you have any questions about anything that I said, because I could go on and on and on with your hand, and I am not playing around here. I could go on here. Just reach out. All right? And I hope that was of some benefit. Remember, go out of your comfort zone and tell people the truth of the situation as to how what they are doing and their expectations that they are putting on you make you feel and how it affects you. Okay? Hope that helped. And thank you for letting me read your palm, Carrie. It was an honor, really was. And none of that was meant to be demeaning or anything. It's just part of being human. Truly is. When we all have that kind of stuff, don't we? Because we're all interacting with each other. And we're all coming from different areas and different situations and different paths in our lives, aren't we? So that is my approach to palm reading. So buckle up, everybody, if you've never had a palm reading from me before. That's why I say be brave. Be brave. So who do we have next, Richard? Okay. All right. we have a little bit of a software issue here, so. Okay, I'll start talking Appalachia again if you want. That's right, sorted out. Sorted out software. Okay, I still have Carrie on the podcast. Absolutely, absolutely. Dean, as in David, D. So, Dean, okay. As in like James Dean, okay. Okay, all right, so this is not actually Levi's hand. This is Levi's partner, Dean, okay? And we're gonna do this. So, Dean, I hope I can remember to say your name and not Levi's here. You have a super, super strong worker hand. Not just because of the calluses that you do have on your hand, but the calluses and where they are placed also mean something, right? Now, the elements that you have, I'm not even really you do have some wateriness in your fingers. You do. Okay, Dean, you do. And as I said, you interact with people with your fingers. Like when you grab a pen, that's what you're using. When you grab anything, right? When you grab somebody's hand, you're grabbing with your fingers, right? So people automatically sense this very, like, still waters run deep with you, Dean. They really do. That's what I'm hearing in my head. Still waters run deep. And I hope you understand what that means. Now, the thing is that these calluses on your palm are in the wrong areas. What I mean by that is that anytime you see a little pillowy area, kind of pillows up, right? Like a little cushion. Now, that means that is untapped strength in that particular area. Now, each area of the palm and even on the fingers stands for something. You need to tap into things that are going on with your underneath Mercury. Do you see how you have that little pillow area right underneath here, underneath Mercury, Dean? You need to start speaking the truth of situations that people are throwing at you. Again, this is a very common theme with everybody, okay? Because we like to squash things down in order to get through life, right? We do. It's just one of those things. Now, the fact that you have your two communicating fingers separate from like your militant and your self-esteem fingers means that you will choose to just do and not necessarily communicate any problems that you might be having. That leads to burnout, Dean. Now, you need to start speaking with Mercury. You need to start using Apollo more. You even have some self-doubt lines going underneath Apollo, which means that if you were to express how you felt, because Apollo is very adjective, right? So I feel, it's gray, I feel sad today, right? That kind of thing. Think of all the adjectives, right? And because with that is self-care, because you are getting off of your chest and off of your back, right? All that weight that you carry around with you, you are expressing. So there's self-care. Apollo was into the medical arts. He was into all of the arts, okay? So you need to use these two fingers. But what fingers are you using the most in life? You're using these two, okay? Now, this is Jupiter, self-esteem, ego, and this is Saturn, Titan God, right? So you will get things done, no matter what. And you even have calluses under a couple of those fingers, right? So you're using them, but you're using them in the wrong way. Why are you, this is a rhetorical question, Dean, don't answer this, but why are you doubting the validity of the way you feel about situations that get thrown at you? Think about that. You have your interpretation of things that are happening to you, and you experience them differently than everybody else. And we all have our own voice. So why do you have self-doubt underneath that? Is it because, okay, there we go. There we got Dean now. All right. So with that being said, if you were to go into a creative field in whatever you are doing, Dean, you would go so very, very far because your hand has so much, so very much to say when it comes to emotion. So I don't know if you like to work with wood. I don't know if you have ever tried your hand at sculpting, but you need to work with your hands and kind of like transmute that energy, meaning like get that energy out of you and express with your hands, because I get the feeling you're a little bit on the quieter side of things, okay? So also, that being said, you have this big callus down here, right? And it happens to be at the bottom of your lifeline. Really, all that is, all through here, right? This is the Mount of Luna, aka Selene, the moon goddess. So you, whatever it is that you are working with manually, right? Using your hands right now, you're running yourself dry. You really are. You are thinking and thinking and thinking, these are things I should be doing, but what you're doing is not what you should be doing. You are highly, highly intuitive. The fact that your wisdom line sinks down into that area, and the wisdom line is the second line that goes down right across here, okay? And yours happens to dip way down, right? Means that you need to stand up for you. You need to stand up for your intuition. You need to stand up for your inner voice. And because of where it is, it also ends up in what's called a plane of Aries, okay? You have two planes of Aries, one over here and one over here, and they're shaped like a little square, okay? Now, this plane of Aries, which is where your wisdom line kind of ends up, right? Means that you need to speak with these two fingers when it comes to defending your personal truth and your principles. Another thing, Dean, is that you have a little bit of a simian hand. Now, it's not 100% simian hand. I'd say it's like about 70% simian. Now, simian-handed people really only have two major lines. Now, you see how I have three, right? I have this top one, which is the relationship, the middle one here, which is wisdom, and then the lifeline. You really pretty much only have two major lines. Now, you do have a little bit of a relationship line, right? But not a lot. So people are going to think that you are very intense because that's how they always feel about simian-handed people. Simian-handed people take up about 5 to 8% of the entire planet, the entire population of the world. 5 to 8% will have simian hands. And they are very misunderstood people because of their intensity, and it's a quiet intensity. So it's that vibe that you get when you're like, wait, I can't really read you. Like, what type of person are you, right? So think before you act, not before you speak. Think before you act. And please, when you do decide to speak, do it with that creative side, do it with that emotional side, and stand up for your principles. You are highly, highly intuitive, and I really, really feel that you would find your comfort zone working with your hands, and I don't just say that because of the calluses, but I mean like in a creative sense, whether it be working with wood or something like that. Yeah, that is my advice to you, Dean. Okay? And man, I could go on and on and on here, and Richard hasn't even said anything to me yet, so I don't know. I don't know. Usually Richard says something to me, but he didn't, so I don't know. But I hope you found that helpful in some way, Dean, and it was an honor getting to read your hand. And you, my friend, are a very, very rare one indeed. Okay? Remember I said simian hands are 5 to 8% of the entire population of the planet. And they're often associated with things like star seeds and you name it, right? You can look up all this stuff. But moreover, they are very intense and quiet individuals. Thank you for confirming that, Dean. Thank you. Richard just told me what you said. Thank you. So if you do have any questions, just please reach out. Okay. And I'm going to take a quick drink here of my tea. Okay, so who do we have next, Richard? All right, we did. Hey, did you guys know that we are actually, how do I even talk about this? We're having a ceremony, awards kind of thing, acknowledgement ceremony. And I believe it is in May. Voting has started now. You can go to the website, sptv.uk, and you go on the top, you will see awards. Okay? You do have to register with your email and everything, and then you have to get approved to nominate someone or to vote on somebody who might already be nominated, okay? So it does take a day or two to actually get that approval to do that, but it keeps things fair, right? Absolutely 100% fair. And yeah, so you can vote for anybody. It doesn't necessarily even have to be somebody on SPTV. It can be anybody in your local community that is a spiritualist or does different types of readings, is a medium, whatever, right? Is a healer. You can nominate them, and it's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful way of giving recognition to people that actually help out others. And when does the voting close on that actually? May the 5th is when voting closes, but it is open now. So check it out. All right, we have Karen. If you do pick for my partner, Kieran. So is this Karen or Kieran's? Okay. Boy. Okay. So Kieran, water. straight up water. Okay. Now Richard's going to go get himself some water too. Okay. So, Karen, you have a water hand. Oh. But here's an interesting fact is that two of your communication fingers, the only two that you have on your hand that are communication fingers, happen to have a little bit more of an air quality to them. Now, this is a combination that isn't seen very often, to have a water and an air hand. Now, the overall shape, meaning the length, the width, and everything of your palm, and the length and width of Jupiter, Saturn, and Venus, all water. But Apollo and Mercury, do you see how they are a little bit skinnier, right? They're thinner than the other fingers, and they're a little bit spindly, right? Meaning they're not perfectly straight. That's air. That's 100% air. So, that being said, your communication, some people may say, let's think of this metaphorically, okay? Air can actually blow a fire out, right? Blow a candle out, or can actually enhance the flames, right? It can actually help somebody who is in a boat, right? Trying to get to a different shore, trying to find something new. You put the wind in their sails and help them forward. Or you can decide, no, don't want you to. And you could blow in the opposite direction and keep them right where they are. Or you can just say, no, I'm not gonna put wind in your sails at all, one way or the other. Nope, you're on your own. Therefore, air-handed people are just as misunderstood as simian-handed people. Right, now, the thing is that with air fingers, yeah, you do work on both. Okay, good, that's interesting. Now, the other thing is that the air fingers are your communication fingers. So, you are going to have to get out of your comfort zone and think more about how other people are receiving and kind of picking up the vibes that you naturally put out there, okay, I should say. Now, what I mean by that is, like, you can walk into a room, any one of us here can walk into a room and just kind of be like, I don't want to be here. Or you can just shake somebody's hand and just be like, I don't know about them, right? Well, that's what I'm talking about. Apollo, which is the adjective communicator, meaning the feely-feel guy, right? He's air. So he might be like, you know what? I don't like you. Back up. And Mercury, who is the one that'll say, it's gray here. Rachel's in Ohio. Rachel's in the States, right? The truth of the situation. And instead of putting a filter on things, you might be a little bit more inclined to just be like, no, leave, get out. No, just go. So you are going to have to start thinking before you speak, which is going to be a little bit rough. And why do I say that? Because air hands and those air fingers, and I'm doing the Vulcan symbol here just to show you what I'm getting at. Now, they are very, and happy I brought up the Vulcan thing, because air-handed people are also tend to be very stoic. I hope you understand stoicism. And it's because they have that ability to just kind of shut down. It's like, I'm going to shut off now, you're on your own. And so you really need to apply Saturn and Jupiter in your life, okay? I realize the strength of Saturn for your hand, meaning Saturn is this one right here, the middle finger, right? Do you see? It's all water, meaning that you will do for others. You will do for others. And Jupiter is even bending, kind of curves towards Saturn, meaning that doing for others will even kind of make you feel good. But here's the thing. If people don't say thank you, I think you and I both know how you will react. And you're going to have to stop doing that and think, where is that person coming from in their life at this moment before you speak with the quality of air. You follow me? So don't just lash out if they don't say thank you or if they're not appreciative enough of the work that you do. Don't just lash out and don't cut them off. Just try to understand, okay, listen, they might be going through something I'm completely unaware of. Now, also, another thing that is on your hand is that you have self-doubt underneath Apollo, and you also have self-doubt lines underneath Saturn. And those are those lines that a lot of people like to call like success lines and healer lines and all that. No, that's jumping way ahead of everything, okay? What they really are, yeah, thank you for confirming that, Kieran, thank you. So what it really is self-doubt. And we all go through a learning process, don't we? So when you have as many self-doubt lines as you have, but you keep going, kudos to you. And the advice that I'm giving you is actually going to help those lines diminish. Because what I neglected to say through this whole time that I've been on here is that lines do change. Now, the fingerprints are never going to change. They're the first lines to form on anybody's hand when you're in the womb, okay? And the lifeline, right, this line down here, and the wisdom line, and the relationship line, yeah, those are the second lines to form when you're in the womb at around 4 to 5 weeks old. They're like a stamp. So they're never going to change. But what does change is everything else on the entire hand. So all those self-doubt lines can go away. You might get new ones. They might deepen. They might go away. They might go sideways. If they go sideways, that is a success line. So pay attention to that because you do have some curving lines underneath Jupiter, which is very, very interesting. So keep being you, but understand that everybody is coming from their own situations, and they might not have the ability to filter what they say or how they behave. And it's okay. It's okay. But just keep persevering. Air-handed people always need to understand that it's okay. You just send off a vibe, and it's okay, though. So I hope that helped. I also need to tell you, though, Kieran, is that you are more respected than you yourself know. You have a presence line coming off of your wisdom line that is nice and straight, but also shows some doubt. You gotta get rid of that doubt. You gotta get rid of it. All right, Kieran, I hope that helped. I don't know what you were singing there, but it sounded like Jeopardy. I don't know. That sounded like Jeopardy to me. Was it Jeopardy? Okay. It's all right, Richard. It's okay. Okay. What? Okay, all right. Okay. All right. I don't know what's going on. I think Richard, I don't know what's going on with Richard over there in England, but did you really get water, Richard? Okay, he is really drinking water, everybody. He is really drinking water. Okay. At least he's not singing to me. Okay. No, 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 don't start now. No, 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 no. Oh my goodness. Who was that? Glenn Campbell? Raindrops keep falling on my head. Who did that? Why are you singing that? Oh, shame on you. At least it's not Tiny Tim. I had that going through my head for a day. That was horrible. You know, Tiny Tim. It was the name he went, stage name he went by was Tiptoe Through the Tulips. Oh yeah, right. Oh my goodness, you guys are like, what are they talking about, right? All right, Danielle, I cannot see your lines. I can't. Yeah, I'm sorry, Danielle. It's all blurry. I'm very sorry. Well, okay then, Richard. Okay, well, Richard, awesome. You're getting me all in a huff here. Oh, my goodness. Raindrops keep falling on my head. Now that's going to be going through my head. I used to listen to that when I was little. hmm And Richard just says that his card reading is for fun. Mm. I'm not repeating that. No. Oh, listen, you guys. The picture has to be nice and clear, okay? So that I can see the lines. That's how it works. So I can see the lines. It's not just all about the fingers, although I seem to be focusing on the hand shape itself at the moment. But sometimes I focus on the lines as well, okay? So please try to get that picture in focus because Richard is sifting through images right now trying to find pictures that are in focus. YouTube. Okay. hmm Okay. Uh-oh. No, you did not just do that. You did. Oh, you know what you gotta do then. Okay. All right. Sandra/Sandra. And why I say that is because my mom is a Sandy. And if you dare to call her Sandra, she will come at you. Okay? She does not like Sandra. So anytime I see Sandra, I will say Sandra/Sandra because I do not know which you prefer. And my mom, don't call her Sandra. No, you don't want to feel that wrath. Okay. All right. So you have a really, really great hand. You do. First off, you have a very well balanced hand, meaning the overall shape of the fingers. But there are some situations. First off, It is a little blurry, but it's okay. It's all right. I can see some things that we need to talk about. Now, on your relationship line. And if any, okay, first off, I'm going to back up 1 second here. Now, I can't really see your lifeline very well on your hand, okay, because of the quality of the photo itself. Now, your lifeline is this line that goes all the way around. And these lines, obviously, if you're watching this, everybody's hands are different from everybody else's, right? But if somebody tells you, like if you do have a really short lifeline, right? And they're like, oh, and they say something really bad about the length of your life or whatever. No, just get up and walk away, please. Just do it. I'm serious, because I've been doing this for over 30 years, and no lie, no exaggeration, I have read hands of people that were like 70s and their 80s even, and they might have had a lifeline that was like an inch long, and they were still sitting in front of me. So yeah, don't don't listen to that. Don't listen to that is what I'm saying, okay? Now, the other thing that I notice with your hand is the depth of your relationship line, the depth of your wisdom line. And I'm wondering if part of that, Sandra, now, is any of this scar on your hand? Do you know if any of it is the result of a scar? Because there are, like right in here, that's a very, very rare configuration to have on your hand. It means that there is an upset that happened in your life where your wisdom, meaning the principles, the decisions that you make, right, the ethics that you kind of create to live your life by, right? Change, like boom, that's it. I'm done and I'm changing it all. So you kind of started from scratch again, and you felt very, very like strongly about it. Like, whoa, this is who I am now. And why do I say that? Because of that big dip that you have. It's almost like a little pit right here on your wisdom line. I hope you can try to figure that out on your hand by looking at mine, right? And that is you saying, no more of this. This is how I'm going to be right now. So you people may have kind of read that as you being stubborn, but all it was that line, according to what I can see by this picture, your wisdom line goes all the way across. So all the way to you. Okay, no scars. All right, so it was trauma based. Okay. So you might as well say scar in a metaphorical sense, right? So with that, your wisdom line, as I said, your principles, your ethics, the way you handle yourself, right, is so very, very strong. But I'm going to say something. You have no bridge lines between your relationship line and your wisdom line. With a hand as balanced that you have, as you have, I should say, meaning your fingers, they're almost perfectly placed, the distance. Some of them are a little bit closer than others, right? But it's so very, very well balanced, even the placement of your thumb, that you are going to be like the person that attracts stuff from people, okay? Because you are so well balanced. So when it comes to having these deep pits on the wisdom line, right? And you also have on the relationship line, and this is the beginning of the relationship line up here, the way I read hands. Other people will say that's the end. The way I do it, that's the beginning for me, okay? It's very, very deep. And they're right across from each other, aren't they? Right across from each other. So, that being said, without bridging lines run between the relationship line and the wisdom line and kind of represent people that are in our life that we kind of hang out with, or we have some kind of, enjoyment with, whether it be a relationship, friendship, whatever, somebody that we think we have things in common with. I don't see any on your hand. Instead, what I do see are doubt lines. And they are doubt lines underneath Apollo. Yes, I know you do. I know you do, girl. Okay, so now with those doubt lines, and those are those little lines that run up and down right here underneath Apollo, which is what? Emotion. Okay? Now I'm going to ask you, Sandra, to do a little hand yoga on your own. And you're going to take your hand, right? And you're going to go like this so that you can see. Okay, I'm doing this so that you can see what I want you to do. So I want you to look at the side of your hand and right here, okay, between the relationship line and the bottom ring of the pinky, aka Mercury. And I want you to tell me if you have any lines there, if you have any fine lines there. And you can either tell me that now, or you can tell me that, you can find me on Facebook or whatever, okay? But let's get back to why you might be attracting stuff that does not serve you well, as you said, as the quote is at the bottom of the screen here. And that's because you have a tendency, the closer people get to know you, to put like a mask on, to assume a role, to get through things. So it's very hard for people to get to know the real you. And I get it. I get it. You do have lines there? Okay. So that means, Sandra, even though it might not feel like this way, you actually have those lines that are right there, either on the side of the hand, represent not like soulmate lines or anything like that, but relationships that are so meaningful. And they don't have to be like romantic or whatever. It's just these soul bond relationships where if you feel like you've given up and you are a squally bally snotty mess and you just want to go under a rock and just forget about it, they, without even being asked, will come over, kick over that rock, grab you by the hand and say, come on, we're doing this together. They will have your back no matter what. And you need to know that you have those people coming into your life. They are. They weren't there already. They're coming into your life. And that's the weirdness of me telling you that, okay? But understand that. So the fact that you do not have bridging lines, meaning, like a healthy social life or whatever, right? One deep and one not so deep. The one deep one means that they're going to be there forever, right? And the one that isn't so deep, if it is closer down toward the relationship line and closer to the back of the hand, that means that they are going to come into your life later in your life. They're coming into your life. Okay, so watch that line and see if it deepens. Okay, now all that being said, you are going to have people around you that care so very much about you that you're not going to have to wear a mask to assume a role to get through life. You're just not. But it's going to be in your comfort zone to do so. And I get that. Based on your hand, I get that. But you have to practice shielding. And that is a whole other subject that I am willing to talk to you about if you want to. You can reach out to me outside of here, gratis. I will actually talk to you about shielding, okay? Because you, my friend, need to shield. You don't need to put a mask on to keep everybody away, meaning, that assume that role, like a Halloween mask, right? Like, okay, I'm Wonder Woman today, right? No, you need to be you, because you're just as important as everybody else that keeps dumping stuff on you. You are, if not even more important, because they will bring their stuff to you. So ask yourself, why do they do that? It's because you are the stronger one. You are. And I hope that that was of benefit to you. Yes, you can absolutely reach out to me, Sandra/Sandra. Yes, you can. Just look me up, TikTok, Facebook, on the directory, on SPTV's directory, sptv.uk. You can reach out to me there as well. It's I go by Rachel G. Palmistry, okay? Even on Instagram. So you can look me up. And I will absolutely 100% explain what shielding is, okay? And I hope that helped. I hope that was a benefit. So, we're going to do some cards. We're going to do some cards right now. Okay? So, sorry everybody, you're just going to have to catch me in 2 weeks from now to do more palms. Now, the cards I chose for today, like I said in the beginning, they are not tarot. I do not care what you guys say, okay? They're not tarot. I feel it already. They're like, I want tarot. I want to know what's going on. It's the new year, right? No. This is 2022, okay? Now, the weirdest that is me, I've been having dreams galore about 2022, and even like through last year, I've been having dreams about it. You can call it what you want. There are just certain things that come into my head, and yeah, I've been writing it all down. Okay, let's just put it that way. So we are doing an oracle deck. And you're like, oh, oracle. No, we're doing an oracle deck. And it is the Whispers of Healing. Okay? Stop, Richard. Dun, dun, dun. This, the Whispers of Healing. Now, the designs, meaning they started out as watercolor paintings, everybody. Hello, for those creative types out there. All those watercolor paintings you've been hoarding, okay, and hiding away from people. You can make cards out of them. Okay, Josephine Wall is the illustrator, and the actual, I don't know, the author of the book, which I never read, is Angela Hartfield. Okay. So, because these cards are pretty self-explanatory. Beautiful, very soft, but what they are is about what your energy needs are right now, that you need to focus on. And it's a good way to start the new year, isn't it? Yes, it is. No, yes, it is. All right, so here we go. All right. Carla. All right, I like your hair, Carla. All right. So let's see what card we have for you. Ooh, we have Ruminate. All right. So all those things that you may be thinking about and thinking about and thinking about, what are you going to do with them? Are you just going to keep thinking about them? Or are you actually going to create something with them? And yes, you can create something with all those ideas. Yes, you can. Even the trauma that might be spinning around in your head over and over. Write it down. Put it out there in the world. Create music. Create your own music. Create your own world for other people to enjoy. Okay? And they will enjoy it because they will know they're not alone. All right. So who do we have next? Itchy, 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 right here. Who do we have next, Richard? Danielle. Okay. Alrighty. Danielle. Ooh. Yes, it is. Thank you, Richard. You have the Breathe card. Now, the thing with this card is that you have to take it easy on you. That's right. I'm pointing, and I realize in some cultures that's a no-no. But I'm pointing at you, Danielle. You need to take it easy because, look, you're up here in this little boat, right? And there's a storm a-coming. And there are even rocks and everything, right? I mean, these waves are coming at you, but guess what? You have help. You have help from others. And it's going to come from like left field, meaning that you're going to be completely unaware that there are people out there that are actually going to reach out and say, hey, Danielle, let me help you out on this. So remain calm. Remain calm when that storm hits, okay? And this is your energy need right now, is you have to know that you are not alone. There are people that are seeing what you're going through. Just give yourself a breather, okay? Give yourself some space to breathe and to think. All right, who do we have next? Samantha. Like the flowers. Very pretty. Okay. Ooh. Interesting. Reawaken. So, have you been a caterpillar this entire time? Have you been comfortable being a caterpillar? Well, guess what? In the time out that you might have been giving yourself or been forced into, when you reawaken, you're going to have wings and you will be transformed. So you need to realize that life is going to change for you. So buckle up and it will be better. It will be better. And here's something else I also advise you to do because of what she is doing in here. She is lying or laying on the ground, right? So even if it might be cold wherever you are, Samantha, just get some time outdoors, okay? Just stand outside, kind of breathe in the air a little bit if you can. Maybe do a little bit of grounding if you can, right? So that you can actually get that negativity of this transformation, because sometimes it's shocking, right? It's like, wow, okay, my life suddenly changed. What do I do? Well, you can actually transmute that negativity by putting it into the ground. Look it up. Scientifically proven. Okay, so who do we have next? Amanda. All right. I'm being told to cut the cards. Not by Richard. Okay. All right. Amanda. Mental repetition. What are you doing, Amanda? No, 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 no. There is no growth here. There's no growth on this tree, is there? There's no growth around this tree. None. Your eyes are closed. You need to wake up and jump off the hamster wheel. You need to do that. It is time to let that stuff go. It's time. And if you feel like you can't do it, write it down, because it's not yours to carry. Don't carry that energy, and don't let it keep spinning around in your head over and over again. By actually writing it down on paper, you are getting it out of you and doing something else with it than just letting it float around in your mind over and over again, Amanda. And I hope that was helpful. Okay, who do we have next, Richard? Clayton. All right. You need to replenish. Now, with this, I hope that you can see all of the various, I'm going to go this way, all the various, almost like dreams, aren't they, that you are going through while you are giving yourself time to rest. Because we all need to recharge our batteries, so to speak, every once in a while, don't we? But with you, Clayton, you need to write down these dreams, because there are messages in them. There's always messages in dreams. Write it down, and you will see those things that are zapping your energy, or you may even see those things that will give you even more energy, like an idea that you never really thought of. But your subconscious, when you're actually at rest, it'll just pop up. Why is that? Because you're not filtering things out when you're asleep. So give yourself some time to relax, and write that stuff down. Hope that helped, Clayton. All right. I'm sorry, Richard. I'm just getting a weird... I don't know, Clayton. I don't know if this is really weird, Richard, but I don't know if you're going to get a message from somebody who passed over, Clayton. And this is weird, but it's a grandmother figure. And I don't know if your grandmother has actually passed on. It might be a great-grandmother. But I see her plain as day. And that's the weirdness that is me. And I don't talk about it very much, but it is important that you write down when you see her in your dream. It's important that you write down what she says. You will remember it when you wake up. There you go. There you go. Okay, now she can just go away. Oh, go away. I have no idea what that was about. All right, Jennifer. All right. Okay. Ooh, Jennifer. Control. Look at the beautiful, beautiful imagery in this card. My goodness. You have wings, and it's just amazing. And the control that you have in this card is that you can see things from a different perspective. Okay? Now, another interesting thing is that they have representatives from almost every class of bird that is in here, right? So remember this card, okay? And if you can, take a screenshot or mark down what time it is so that you can go back and look at it if you can't take a screenshot. Know that the moon, when the moon is around, like when it is full, right? That is when you are going to have this control over things. So you might have really, really vivid dream at the next full moon. You really might have a really vivid dream. And you are going to have a lot of messages come to you. Now, the different types of birds, it's because they can rise above a situation. That is the control that you have. Use it well. Don't abandon the people that have hurt you, but just rise above it. Rise above it and be the role model, because look at how powerful she is. Look at that. Yep. Look, watching with a smile. Yeah. Richard just said he could see a face in the moon, and there was. And the moon was watching you and was smiling. So there you go. I used to play that with my dad. Oh, blue moon. Standing alone. Without a dream in my heart. Without a love of my own. Oh. See Richard singing, you know. He's trying to sing. He's trying. So I'm not cheeky. Maybe I am. I don't know. I think I might be just a little bit cheeky. All right, Samara, let's get you a card. No, I used to play that on trumpet with my dad. I played lead and he played harmony. Yeah. He was a professional trumpet player. Oh, the secrets are coming out now, aren't they? Oh, you behave. Richard, I'm trying to work here. Right, Samara. All right. Self-love. Samara, why are you doing this? Come on now. Come on now. This almost to me is the equivalent of like the 5 of Pentacles, right? And where you shut yourself off. It's like, I'm unworthy. I'm not, yeah, I don't deserve this. Guess what, Samara? Yes, you do. And these creatures, these regal creatures are stepping out to say, yo, Samara, I'm going to come out here and I'm going to help you. And also we have this. So please, I think this is a clownfish. Is that what they're called, Richard? A clownfish, right? And they're actually poisonous to touch. So don't pretend. If somebody has actually hurt you, it is within your right to speak up and say what happened. Don't just internalize it. Don't internalize it, because that is not healthy. Speak your piece. If you have to be a little venomous about it to prove your point, meaning, just say the truth, and if it does affect them and they get angry, well, maybe they need to hear the truth, and that's their reaction, okay? That's on them. But you have to understand that you are just as worthy as everybody else, and don't deprive yourself because of the way you might feel based on how others have treated you. All right. Hope that helped. That's a little serious there. All right, Carly. First time here. Welcome. And I will not do my airline thing, I promise. I did that one time. Now I want to do it, but I won't. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. All right, Carly, here we go. Oh, learning. All right. So you need to start opening up to those things that you wanted to do so very long ago, but just kind of pushed away and pushed aside. Now is the time for you to go back into that, dive back in, get that certification, do that, go out there and, I'm gonna say, get her done. Okay, get her done. Meaning, just do it. I don't know why you might have stopped. I don't know why you might have stopped, but learning, being inquisitive about everything that's going on around you, even the spirituality that is around you, okay? Carly, okay? Whether it be mediumship or whatever, that's kind of braiding into you a little bit, which I kind of feel. Learn, hone that skill. This is your energy need right now. You need to open up to it. Okay? It's a beautiful card, actually. Look at all the imagery there. All this transformation, everything's blooming, representation, water flowing, so emotions, right? Intuitiveness. So everybody, that's me for. Okay, we do have some things I'm going to talk about. So what do we have, Richard? Start singing Blue Moon again? Okay, tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. UK time, correct? 11 a.m. UK time, there is a meditation with Lindsay. Leslie, I'm sorry, I apologize, with Leslie. Okay, and tomorrow night there is a meeting. Is it a class, did you say? It's a mediumship Q&A with Craig Morris. And there we go. There is the advert for it. It's 8 p.m. UK time, so that would be 3 p.m. in the afternoon here in Eastern Daylight Time in the U.S. Might want to check that out, everybody. And then we have a late night. Ooh, that'll be interesting. With Jane and Polly and Kate. And that looks quite interesting. Is that open to the public? Wow, that is open to the public, meaning you guys can, if you are in that area, you can stop in and you can watch it live and you can have some interaction, and it's completely free. And it is going to be simultaneously broadcast on SPTV as well. So dress up, everybody. Whoever's going, dress up. Oh, I'm just joking. No, it's not black tie. Come on now. Just be comfortable. Just be comfortable. That's all. You don't have to dress up to the nines or anything. Just casual dress. I got scolded. Just trying to be cheeky. Jeez. Just trying to be cheeky. Right, so everybody, that is me for today. Yes, I made it. Yes, I made it. And I am here fortnightly, so I'm here Thursdays. What's the next date that I am on, Richard? Do you happen to know offhand? Okay, the next date that I am on is January 20th, and it will be again 8 p.m. for you, 3 p.m. here in the States. And yes, that's me for tonight. If you have any questions at all about what I may have said about your hand, what I may have said about your cards, etc., just reach out. That's all. Look for Rachel G. Palmistry. I'm telling you, If you plug it in somewhere, you're going to find me, okay? You're going to find me. And you can also just look for Rachel Galbreath, which is also what I go by on SBTV, okay? And remember, take care of yourselves. Happy New Year, everybody, 2022. Remember to take care of you. Remember to take care of you. Remember to take care of you. And you are loved. You are. You're loved. And you are more important than you can ever fathom. Take care, buddy. Bye-bye. Good night.